Hi, this is Derek, and today's video I want to share with you an idea of defragmenting your life. Okay, now if you own a computer, then hopefully you've heard of defragmenting. Although being a technical guy, I'm really surprised how often I run into people who might be having problems on their computer, and they're saying, why is it running so slow? And I'll ask them, have you defragmented lately? And they'll look at me and defragmented. What does that mean? And on the computer, it's one of the most important things that you can do. And if you're not familiar with it, let me just explain to you the principle or the concept and how it works, because that understanding that's going to play a part in what I'm going to share with you today. So you have your hard drive on your computer, which stores all your information. Okay, and so let's think of that. Even though it's round, let's look at it kind of like this block here. Okay. And on this block you have, and each line here is going to represent a chunk of information that is stored on your hard drive. Now what happens is, as you use your computer and you delete things, install stuff, whatever it may be, your computer or the data on your hard drive gets what's called fragmented, and that means it's placed in different places all over the hard drive, and there are these gaps that occasionally happen, okay, in between data. Now it makes sense that to run as efficiently as possible, you wouldn't want these gaps, right? Because the wider the gap in between information, the longer it takes for your hard drive to access that information. Okay, so when your hard drive is reading information, if it can jump from here to here, that's going to happen a lot faster than it is when it has to jump from here to here. Alright, and when you're using your hard drive, it's bouncing all over the place. So these huge gaps like this can really slow down the performance of your hard drive. So the idea of defragmenting is to take all this information that's on your hard drive and kind of scrunch it together to eliminate these gaps. Alright, so that all the information is pushed together and the hard drive doesn't have to work as hard to read the information from the hard drive, or from the hard drive, yes. So, what does this mean in life? Well, if you were to take your full day, let's say you have 8 hours, okay? This represents 8 hours of time right here. And let's draw a little clock here, okay? So this represents 8 hours of time in your day. Now, throughout your day, do you have distraction gaps? Well, what do I mean by that? Well, do you get something done and then maybe goof around, get distracted, and then come back a little bit later, and then you get one more thing done, and you goof around some more, and you mess around on Facebook or Twitter or whatever it may be, and then you come back and you got this other gap here, and then you're doing something, and you have another gap, and then you end your day. All right. And that's how a lot of people go about their day. Is they do some things, but they have these huge distraction gaps. What I call distraction gaps, okay? Now, if you could actually take all the things that represent actual action, things where you got something done, and you scrunched all these down so that they didn't have these distraction gaps, well, you might only have like 4 hours of actual work, right, out of an 8-hour day, when you eliminate all the gaps for distractions that you had to deal with. So the idea of defragmenting your life involves seeing this, paying attention to it, whether or not you're being distracted a lot, and realizing, because awareness is so powerful. If you're aware that maybe something like this is going on in your life, then you need to learn how to defrag and the benefits of doing that. And that's what the idea behind focus is, or the action machine, which you can get more information about at theactionmachine.com. And that is a tool that's meant to help you to eliminate these distraction gaps. That's not one, but that's one. Because once you eliminate these distraction gaps, you're going to get a whole lot more efficient with how you get things done and how you use your time. All right? So pay attention to this. If your life is fragmented and your time is fragmented, you're not as efficient as you possibly could be. Alright, and if that's important to you, which I would highly recommend that it become important, because time is a very important commodity of your life. So if that's something that you feel like you need to improve, then focus on fixing your focus, okay, which you can do, like I said, using the Action Machine or any other tool that you might prefer, just as long as it helps you to eliminate these distraction gaps, okay? So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? Would you like 20 more just like it that explain to you how to take more action and finally get things done, all for free? Well, then visit www.theactionmachine.com. Once again, that's www.theactionmachine.com.